Is there a different set of race-based rules when it comes to the media and public figures using negative descriptors for bad guys? Which is to say, apparently calling violent criminals sewer rats or cockroaches is offside, but if a criminal is Caucasian, please feel free to use the term white trash. Last month, I came across an Associated Press story printed in the Toronto Sun. It was about James Alex Fields Jr. being convicted of first-degree murder for killing Heather Heyer at that infamous Charlottesville rally back in 2017. The headline for the story was, quote, "White trash guilty of murder," end quote. Now, at this point, I want to be perfectly clear. I am not offended by the headline. Fields is a murderer. He's a Nazi-loving coward that used his car as a missile to kill a woman. He fully deserves the death penalty for his atrocious actions. I am not going to bat for this despicable man. Having said that, I am somewhat curious that the racially charged descriptor white trash was used in the headline. For example, if a person of color, even one committing murder in the first degree, was referred to by a racial slur, would this be tolerated? Well, actually, we needn't spend time pondering that query because based on how two Toronto politicians were vilified last year by the usual suspects for referring to gangsters as sewer rats and cockroaches, well, we already know the answer, don't we? For example, in what turned out to be Toronto's most murderous year on record, Mayor John Tory used the term sewer rats to describe two men last July who had fired their handguns in a park, wounding two young girls in the process. That led to Toronto activist Desmond Cole asking the mayor in a tweet, quote, "Did you apologize for calling black people profoundly antisocial sewer rights or nah?" End quote. Now Magazine, meanwhile, ran an open letter co-written by 21 social workers and researchers in which Mayor Tory was condemned for using, quote, "incendiary language on gun violence," end quote. In doing so, the authors argued the mayor, quote, "stokes racism and poses public health risk for racialized communities," end quote. But wait a second. Mayor Tory didn't even know the race of the gunmen when he made that comment. And he didn't say black sewer rats. So where the hell is this alleged racism? My take, the mayor should have made an apology to the rodent community, that is. After all, I've never known a rat to discharge a Glock in a playground. And how odd is it that the progressives have such empathy for gangbangers being referred to with nasty names, but not so much concern for the fact that two innocent young girls were wounded. Amazing. A few weeks later, right here on this show, Toronto City Councillor Giorgio Mammoliti caused a media shitstorm thanks to these comments regarding convicted criminals who are nevertheless allowed to stay in the city's taxpayer-subsidized housing units.
What I say by that is they're harboring, literally, all of these killers. They're harboring the drug dealers. They know they are, and they can't do anything about it because the courts won't let them evict. They call it the last place for these people to go. So if they evict, there's nowhere else for these people to go. I see it like spraying down a building full of cockroaches. The cockroaches are just going to scatter, right? Yeah. So start evicting them.
Yes.
Let them scatter because their particular strength is when they're all together in a community like Jane and Finch.
Yeah.
Now again, Mammoliti was referring to criminals living in social housing as being cockroaches, not visible minority criminals, but all criminals. And these criminals prey on the law-abiding residents in these social housing complexes. Yet, like Tory, Mammoliti was condemned as a racist, even though race was irrelevant. And what a highbrow debate that ensued. Check out this directed at Mr. Mammoliti from Nat Turner Online, the handle of Nat Turner, a music producer and DJ, quote, "Choose your words wisely or we will scatter your brains across this city, end quote. Call me nuts, folks, but that kind of sounds like a death threat to me. Anyway, I think we now have new rules moving forward, thanks to the progressives, which is to say racial slurs such as white trash directed at Caucasian criminals is okay, but non-racial slurs such as sewer rats and cockroaches is not okay because maybe the people being described might be visible minority criminals? Sounds entirely logical to me. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.